Andrew Penkethman, Managing Director and CEO of ASX-listed Ardea Resources, and today I'm going to be providing a brief update on nickel sulphides and some of the exploration Ardea's been undertaking at our Kalpini Project, and in particular around Emu Lake, which is 70 kilometres northeast of the city of Kalgoorlie, Boulder. Now, nickel sulphides, and here's a big chunk, they're notoriously challenging to find. Here in Western Australia, the dominant types are your Campbell style lava flow, and there's also intrusive related nickel sulphide occurrences such as the recent Julimar discovery just northeast of Perth. So it's those laid mafic complexes, and in this example, this is a lump of 10% nickel sulphide from an underground nickel sulphide mine I used to work at many years ago now. Put that into perspective, 10% nickel at a $18,000 per tonne nickel price is worth about $1,800 a tonne. Take that down to 5%, $900 a tonne. Take it down to 2.5%, $450 a tonne. Of course, you've got all the modifying factors to add to that, but it's just an example to put into context how valuable nickel sulphides are. As I mentioned, they're difficult to discover and they're an increasing rarity. Now, with our exploration drilling results at Emu Lake, in June we announced some fantastic results from our second diamond drill hole. And there was a high grade core there of massive and disseminated nickel sulphides, 1.1 metres at 4.78% nickel. And then that bulked out over a disseminated zone above an intact felsic footwall horizon, 4.8 metres at 1.44% nickel with copper and PGEs. Now, there's significant results. Our ASX releases are out there. That was the 10th of June release, and our more recent ASX release highlights the downhole geophysical surveys that are being completed to follow up on that initial tantalising discovery. Time will tell, but we think we're in with a tremendous opportunity with these geophysics to vector in on the target, and in the fullness of time we might be able to say, well, hole 2, that was the discovery hole. With nickel sulphides, they tend to be associated with other minerals such as pyrrhotite, and pyrrhotite is a tremendous conductor, so it's the geophysical surveys such as electromagnetics that pick up on that conductivity. But similarly, you've got some of the sediments, graphitic shales in particular, are also highly conductive. And also in Western Australia, we're dealing with a very, very ancient environment. The rocks that host the nickel sulphide mineralisation that we're targeting in the Eastern Goldfields, Western Australia, have had a hard life. They're 2.6 to 2.7 billion years old. So you can imagine in the ancient landscapes we've had these lava channels form over the surface topography. We've had subsequent erosion and deformation, so in most instances the rocks are in a completely different attitude and been deformed well beyond their original state. So, with these nickel sulphides, you often hear an analogy people use. It's like toothpaste. It'll be remobilised and squeezed into these structural traps in the path of least resistance. So at Emu Lake, with our drilling, we've identified an intact felsic footwall horizon, so we know the sulphides haven't been remobilised. And now we've been using the geophysics to help vector in. We look at the Silver Swan nickel mine 35 kilometres to our west, and we know they're very short strike length. Some of the deposits there are only 30 metres long, but they have great down plunge continuity. Others are about 50 metres long. So with the lava channel defined with the recent mesolar mass surveys completed at Emu Lake by Ardea, we got indications of that channel system being at least 80 metres wide, and the expectation is that, like Silver Swan to our west, that this fantastic down plunge continuity. So we've got indications that it's within 120 metres or so of surface. It opens up a whole new search space for us around hole 2, where we've identified fantastic nickel sulfides, and then doing moving loop EM surveys elsewhere over the 20 kilometres of strike that Ardea controls in their Kalpini tenements, mainly on granted mining leases. There's a number of targets that have been identified there, and in most instances it's to the west, and they're ultramafics that have received very little in the way of historic exploration. And as I mentioned before, it's on this intact Belzic footwall location, so that opens up a whole new search space for us. So watch this space. We're in with a fantastic opportunity to make a meaningful discovery at Emu Lake. Thanks very much for your time. If you've got any questions, feel free to contact the Ardea team, phone or email. Thank you.